Good morning and happy Friday. Want to give you a verse of scripture this morning that I hope and trust is a help to you as it concerns our relationships. Been reading the scriptures there in Exodus the other morning, and I came across Exodus chapter 23 and verse 1. Now, the context of Exodus 23 verse 1, Moses on Mount Sinai, he's receiving instruction from the Lord. The Lord is molding Israel into a community, and in order to have that community, they've got to have some rules, some things to live by to have a productive society. But there's some practical lessons if we look here in Exodus 23. It's what scholars call the Book of the Covenant, Exodus 20 through 23, and it comes right after the Ten Commandments. God had just rescued Israel from slavery in Egypt. He's teaching them how to live as free and just and covenant people. And this is practical guidance for everyday life, whether it's the courts and justice, community relationships, power dynamics, truth, responsibility. But in verse 1, we find this. It says, "You shall not spread a false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness." Let's break this down for a moment. You shall not spread a false report. That goes beyond outright lying. This includes gossip, rumors, exaggeration, repeating something that you don't know is true. In an oral culture like Israel had in that day, where words traveled fast and had real consequences, a false report could destroy somebody's reputation and livelihood and life. So God cares not just about what you say, but what you pass along. Now let's move on in this verse. You shall not join hands with a wicked man. This phrase implies active cooperation. It's not just about personal sin, but about aligning yourself to wrongdoing, to lending credibility to injustice, to going along with something you know is wrong. Joining hands, that suggests solidarity, standing with somebody in their wrongdoing because of pressure, fear, loyalty, or gain. But with this in mind, let's look at this part. To be a malicious witness, the last part of this verse. A malicious witness isn't merely mistaken. They're intentionally harmful. This includes twisting facts, selective truth, silence when truth is required, testifying to hurt rather than to heal. In court, this world will corrupt justice. In daily life, it corrupts community. The big picture here now, at its core, Exodus 23 verse 1, it teaches that truth is a moral responsibility, not a passive virtue. So what is God saying here? How can we take this with us today? Don't create lies. Don't repeat lies. Don't support lies. Don't let pressure turn you into a partner of injustice. Truth matters because people matter. And truth, all truth begins and ends in Jesus Christ. So this verse quietly confronts one of the most common human temptations, going along with the crowd. It asks uncomfortable questions. Am I careful with what I repeat? Do I stay silent when someone's being misrepresented? Have I ever joined hands just to avoid conflict? In a world where misinformation spreads instantly and outrage is contagious and things play on people's emotions, this command from God in this passage is pretty relevant. We're invited this morning to be slow to speak, careful with our influence, and brave enough to stand alone. Integrity is faithful, but not loud. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Hope and trust you have a good weekend. And I want to invite you, if you don't go to a Bible-believing, gospel-preaching church, I want to invite you to go to one this Sunday. I invite you in the Bethlehem area to be at our church. Have a good weekend. May the Lord bless you.